This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Welcome, fans. Sunday in the NBA. It's going to be the New York Knicks up against LeBron James and the Miami Heat. And now time for Kevin Harlan. We'll get you out to the opening tip-off in Miami.
Yeah, how y'all feel? Cause I feel so awesome. How you feel? Awesome. I guess that awesome. You fine and your awesome. Wanna roll? Awesome. Let's go. Yeah, hands in the sky like AWE. Some call me awesome, some call me busy. Call me often, data on my shirt. Oh, when I'm feeling
it's an all-Eastern Conference affair this time for the traveling New York Knicks. The NBA on 2K Sports. Thanks for joining us this Sunday afternoon with Steve Kerr, Mark Kellogg, and Boris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan. Welcome, everyone. Now let's check out the State Farm starting lineups. First for the New York Knicks. Melo and Amari at the forward slot. Jeremy Lin is out there with Landry Fields. And it's Chandler in at the 5 spot. And for Miami, Chalmers and Wade are the 1 and the 2. Joel Anthony is out there at this spot, and it's LeBron at the 3 spot.
You knew the big three when they came together, guys, that they would be good. But they did a pretty decent job, I thought, of finding complementary players to fill out the roster after a big chunk of the salaries went to the big three.
And so off the tip, it's New York. Lin the pass to Carmelo. It's good. Anthony's got the opening basket of the game for the Knicks. Well, back to the 8 and Clark, you're right. They searched out vets that knew how to fill a role and need and really build a team around the stars.
Well, and that's critical because anytime you have the core group together, it's about finding role players who are going to accept their responsibilities on the team and accept the fact that sometimes they're not going to see the minutes that they would otherwise like. But they handled it well. They got a good roster around their stars, and it paid off.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, I spoke briefly with xXOSDERXx. He told me we're capable of being a very disruptive defense when we keep our poise and use our heads instead of becoming over-aggressive and making mistakes. He's counting on his players displaying that kind of poise here today. Guys?
Thanks, Doris. So Clark and Steve, defense, it looks like, coming first for them today.
And while you don't really want to put all of your cookies in one jar, I mean, I think emphasis on defense is a way to go.
Yeah, I'd agree, because if you come out and establish the defense right away, it kind of sets the tone. And you really kind of take control of that game emotionally.
Here's Anthony, following the basket by LeBron James. Shot clock at 5. Here's Anthony, and he converts the layup.
You know, they'll want to generate more of those shots in tight, guys.
New York on D.
Boy, what a trade that was a year ago. The Knicks giving up 4 starters to get Carmelo Anthony. And, of course, he's a superstar. And the old saying is you give up whatever it takes to get a star. And I think Carmelo is going to be great for New York over the years. Off to the races, just really getting up and down the floor.
Not much the defense could do there, guys, but let them go.
Where the defense has to commit so much attention to him. He's just an important part of this offense.
Steve, we're talking about the trade, one that seemed to work out well for really both teams. Clark, the Nuggets went on a nice run themselves to finish the season.
Yeah, I think it was a situation that's going to prove to be very beneficial, a win-win for Denver and New York. And I think I agree with Steve. I mean, when you have a chance to get a player in his prime of that caliber to go with another prime-time, high-caliber player in New York, I think you had to do it. You got to give up a lot to get a lot. But I think both teams are in good shape, and the Knicks perhaps in the best shape they've been in decades.
We knew Denver didn't have a whole lot of choices, but we knew the Knicks could certainly pull or not pull the trigger. And I think There's probably some division within their basketball front office if they should or should not make the trade.
Yeah, I bet you. I think you're right, Kevin. There probably was a lot of debate about that, and some landed on one side or the other. But I think they ended up in a good spot as an organization.
Here's Fields. Wade gets a hand on it. The Heat trail by 4. The three from LeBron, and that one's good. LeBron's now got 7.
Boy, he's a great option from long range on the fast break if you give him that much room.
Chandler kicks to Fields. Anthony backing him down. In low, and it's good. He's got 8.
When the Heat struggled early on last season, Eric Spoelstra was unfairly thrown on the hot seat. He kept his cool, though, very impressively, and the Heat turned their season around and the talk quieted down. That's a credit to Spoelstra.
Fields. But they recover it. Chandler outside. Lynn. No luck. And it's the Heat taking it the other way. Back to Spoelstra in Miami. Clark, with the way the Heat finished, you have to think things will change. I know, Steve, you were very impressed with the way he managed that team in the postseason.
Yeah, I thought Eric Spoelstra was great. Now, a lot of people are focusing on the final series when Rick Carlisle stole the show. But to be fair to Spoelstra, he inherited a very difficult situation with a lot of talent but huge expectations. I think Miami had a solid year, a very good year. The question now is, can they get back to the finals and finish the job?
Now here's Anthony. He's got 8. Drills the three-pointer. Anthony's got 11.
Well, they've got to do something defensively because he's been unstoppable.
And defensively, Steve, your only choice now is to double him. I mean, I don't think there's another option.
The first one falls. Udonis Haslem. He's checked in for the Heat. Miller comes in for Dwayne Wade. The Knicks also changing it up. Jeffries comes in for Chandler. And it's Walker in for Landry Fields. He hits both from the stripe. Here is Lynn. 24 seconds left here in the first quarter. He kicks it to Melo. He's against Miller. Anthony dishes to Lynn. Back to Anthony. Here's Stoudemire. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet. Stoudemire's got his second bucket of the game to go. Here's Miller, and he races to the bucket for 2. The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about to get underway. And Miami has possession. They trail by 6. So with LeBron on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. Chris Bosh is out there with Haslem. Then it's Mike Miller. Then it's Shane Battier. And it's Cole in at the point guard. The Heat trail by 6.
Well, fellas, you know, Melo coming over to the Knicks, big story around the league, really, as the Knicks like to make headlines, and they did with that move. Some, though, can criticize New York for being more concerned with being on the front page than actually winning. I'm not sure I quite agree with that, but certainly some people may have felt that way.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, guys, when Amari Stoudemire left the Suns to join the Knicks, there were some people who questioned whether he could be as dominant without a great point guard like Steve Nash setting the table for him. In his first season, he certainly put those questions to bed. He had the second highest scoring average of his career, and he was dominant. Celtics coach Doc Rivers said, "I think we found out Amari is pretty good on his own, guys."
He certainly is, Doris. Thank you so much.
And, you know, a great point guard will help any scorer. But Amari remains great no matter who's getting him the ball. He knows how to finish.
Back to what you brought up, they have always tried to be a part of big trades that are being discussed. Sometimes they work, Steve, and sometimes they don't for that team.
Yeah, but anytime you have a chance to get a superstar like Carmelo Anthony or like Amari Stoudemire, I think you go ahead and do it. And so New York is set up now for some success over the coming years, but we'll see how they go forward and what kind of roster they put around their two stars.
Well, that was a serious heave there. You can't blame him too much for not being able to corral it in.
Now, the defense just couldn't get a hand in his face, couldn't challenge the shot.
Yeah, made his height advantage count that time.
Miller outside, and the rebound goes to the Knicks. And here comes the break. Here's Stoudemire, banked in off the glass. Stoudemire's got 4 points in the quarter.
See very few mistakes from him at that end of the floor.
Unloads from 9. Haslam, that's good. And the Knicks with the ball. It's a 5-point game.
Boy, isn't it good to see Udonis Haslam back in healthy effort. Most of last season with a foot injury. This guy who's really been the heart and soul of this Miami ball club.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. Steve Udonis Haslam, when he re-signed with the Heat prior to last season, he could have gotten a lot more money elsewhere, but Clark, he wanted to remain in Miami, and I'm sure he is thanking his lucky stars that decision was made.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he and Dwayne Wade extremely close, and Haslam just kind of felt like he had a chance to stay in a place that he considered home and would be able to do great things. Credit him for picking happiness and contentment over dollar signs. Sometimes that's the best call, but you don't often see guys make it.
Here.
If he's got the ball in his hands and the basket in his sight, he's going straight to the rack.
Anthony, the pass to Lynn. Over Battier. A nice shot by Lynn. And the Knicks lead by 5.
It's been a complete game for him, hasn't it?
Yep, I agree with you there. I mean, he's been in the middle of everything going on.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Well, there's so many questions a year ago about the Miami Heat and how the pieces would fit. In particular, how Wade and LeBron would work out together. And I think they figured it out as the course of the year went on. And Wade ended up playing most of his minutes at the 2-guard spot.
As we get back to Wade, Clark, is he best, as Steve was talking about, is he best at shooting guard?
No question about it. I mean, that's what he does. He attacks. He keeps pressure on the defense. He can make tough shots. He can draw fouls. And off of his ability to be aggressive looking to score, then he can get other people's shots. But he's most suited to putting the ball in the basket.
And that one's good, Anthony.
And you can see the strategy has been to take the ball inside here.
That's where you get high percentage looks and draw fouls, Steve. And it's a good way to play.
Well, you could see last season with the big three that early on offensively they couldn't quite figure it out. But as the season went on, they got more and more comfortable with each other. And I thought by the end of the year, they played pretty well together.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. LeBron, he's checked in for Haslam. Miller comes in for Shane Battier. And it's Chalmers in for Cole. And then for New York, Tyson Chandler, who's checked in for Jeffries. And it's Walker in for Carmelo Anthony. Chandler's shot, good. And you're right, Steve, about what you said in regard to the Heat. Anytime you bring new guys together, there's a feeling out period. But Clark, obviously, this was an extreme case.
Yeah, I agree with both of you there. I mean, it just takes a lot of time and massaging when you have that much star power coming together for guys to figure out their roles and then accept their roles and excel in them. That's a three-pronged process.
A lot.
Yep.
A lot to deal with. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Hi, Kevin. Well, one of the things that was key to the Miami Heat's success was Coach Eric Spoelstra showing his level-headedness throughout the turbulent season last season. His calm demeanor helped in what was a season under the microscope. Dwayne Wade said of Spo, "One thing I always said about Coach Spo is he's even. He's even-keeled. He never gets too high or too low." And that is what helps this team win games, guys.
Thank you, Doris. A lot of coaches wouldn't have been able to deal with the season the Heat had last year.
Yeah, a lot of ups and downs, and even in that finals matchup against Dallas, Spoelstra kept his cool.
And both free throws good for LeBron.
And LeBron really adding to his off-the-court interest. Last summer, he became a part owner of the Liverpool Football Club in England. Seems to have an awful lot on his plate.
Here is Lynn, and Walker kicks to Chandler. Covered by Anthony. He feeds it to Walker. Parked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. The Heat trail by 4. Talking about LeBron, I would say it would all depend on his involvement with the club. It has the potential to be a distraction. What do you think?
I think the potential is very small. I mean, again, LeBron is a very diversified guy from a business standpoint. I look at it simply as another way to broaden his investment pool. I don't think he's going to have involvement on a day-to-day basis. Distraction for him, I think it's a non-issue.
Back to Miller. With the lead pass, gets it to go. And that's 15 points for LeBron.
3 straight buckets in the paint. They're making it look effortless.
Well, speaking of effortless, I'd like to see a little more out of the defense. How about trying, guys?
Shumpert. Wade is covered. Shumpert passes to Chandler. Out of bounds. And they'll keep possession. "17 seconds left to play here in the half. Kept alive. Now here's Walker. He's guarded by Battier. Here's Anthony. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. 5 for Miami. We're back in a moment.
And it's HP at the half with an excellent game going on at American Airlines Arena. A tight one for the Knicks up against the Miami Heat. Phenomenal work on the defensive glass. They're boxing out. They're hauling it in every time. The first half has been a productive one for Amari Stoudemire. They've also got some great production from Carmelo Anthony as well. Also, Miami looking good in the first half. It's been a scintillating open court attack. They hold a major advantage in fast break points. A sensational first half for LeBron. He's got 15 points and has added some assists to his totals as well. And we...
So many times I should have taken back this moment.
And it's been a
These
back and
words I
forth game
spoke,
so
I
far with
know it.
no ground
Now I
given
can
to the
see
first
clearly.
third
I
quarter
folded. I shoulder too much weight. I hold it. Too much pain. And it destroyed me.
Miami trailing.
And the Knicks last season did not use their bench very often. Kind of typical of a Mike D'Antoni team. He relies heavily on his starters, and that was the case a year ago.
And on the floor for Mike D'Antoni starting the second half. Melo and Amari at the forward slots. Landry Fields out there with Jeremy Lin. And it's Chandler in at the center. Anthony dishes to Lin. Pass to Fields. Wade picks him up. 5 on the clock. From deep three-point range, here's Fields. The shot misses. Excellent D from Wade. Washington kicks to Wade. To tie. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. That one is on Stoudemire.
Well, that should be a rule. No layups. Protect the paint. Make them earn every point.
Yeah, I think that's just tough, hard-nosed, smash-mouth basketball. Make your opponent earn their points from the line. Don't give up any layups.
That one drops. He ties it up. Steve, back to what you were saying about that New York Knicks bench. You know, a big part of that was they were so short-handed. Remember Clark when they got that trade and trying to, bring Melo up to speed on what they were doing?
No question. I mean, it got them Melo that trade, but it also left a few players tired because they lost some of their bench depth. Could have been why they saw so many late-season injuries as players were maybe a bit worn out. You think about Contra going down late. Interesting discussion.
Fields the pass to Lin. Stoudemire with a screen on Chalmers. Lin. Defended by Chalmers. Out to Anthony. From about 19 feet. That is good. Anthony's got 15.
Well, there are a lot of good closers in the NBA, but for my money, Carmelo Anthony is the best guy in the fourth quarter when you absolutely need a bucket.
That's not how you want to kick off the second half with 3 straight misses.
They grab their own miss, and it's Stoudemire with the jam. And it's a 4-point Knicks lead. Here's LeBron. 15 points in the game. Chalmers dishes to Bosh. Now the feed to LeBron. Wade against Fields. And the basket by Wade.
Finally get one to drop after starting the half with 4 straight planks.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. Steve just talked about Carmelo Clark as a clutch scorer. Stats back him up. Game on the line. There are a few better in the league in doing that.
I would put him right at the very top of the list, too. Top 2 or 3, because he can get it over you. He can get it around you. He can do it with his back to the basket. He can do it from the 3-point line. And he's a really good free throw shooter. And he is really one of the premier scorers in our league without question.
And they've had a tough time, Clark, scoring in the half court.
Yeah, transition buckets have really saved them, really. You know, when you look at it, that's been their remedy.
Yeah, I agree. They've got to rely on their defense because of that, Clark. If they can play D and force a long shot or a turnover, then they can get out and transition. That may be the only way they're going to score enough points to win here. And guys, an interesting offseason for LeBron James after he made that move to Miami. A lot of people questioned his competitiveness once he decided to join forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh.
You know, back to what Steve said about the big 3. Clark, you know, it might be a fair question as a lot of NBA greats ask the same thing.
You know, Kevin, I can understand people debating.
And he flushes it through. Sprite Slam Cam with the replay.
Now, that's a special order right there.
Not everybody can cap off a dunk like that.
Yeah, very difficult maneuver, but a tremendous one if you can pull it off.
Shot is off. Good work defensively by Anthony.
You know, you take a look at the makeup of the Heat and the offensive numbers last year. Not a ton of assists, but a lot of free throw attempts. FTAs, we call them. Seemed like they just played to their strengths, and a lot of that was isolating their star player. Well, he's showing off his defensive instincts by making plays just like that.
Here is Lynn. And stolen by Chalmers. Up with it. And it's good. Fought through contact. Hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line. Well, Clark, you mentioned that stat about the Heat. Steve, surprising they didn't have more assists.
Well, they didn't have a true point guard running things. Mike Bibby was more of a jump shooter. Same with Chalmers. But I think a lot of it is that they play very isolation-heavy basketball, as Clark mentioned.
Cole's checked in for the Heat. And New York with the change here, too. Shumpert's checked in.
You know, Wade's kind of started out last year, Kevin, in the playoffs rather slowly. And I'll tell you what, he woke up in a hurry after the first few games.
Stoudemire backing him down. And here's Walker. Cans it from downtown. And the Knicks lead by 2. Yeah, Clark, going back to Wade, he didn't top 20 points until the 3rd game of that Phillies series against Doug Collins in the 76ers, but when Steve then exploded and never looked back.
Yeah, but then he was kept under wraps fairly well in the Chicago series, but then against Dallas, he put in several games where he just exploded. So for Wade, always capable of having a big night. Opportunity to go 2 for 1 here if they want it.
Steve, let's see if they go for it.
Oh, boy, looks like he was injured there.
Man, first look, I don't know, guys. Tough to tell just how bad it is.
For his sake, hoping that we're hoping he's okay.
And the Heat making a change here. Battier's checked in. And the Knicks with the ball. Trailing by 2. Back to Anthony. He's guarded by Battier. A 10-footer. Chris Bosh with the rebound.
Man, excellent interior defense there. Good rotations.
No doubt about it, Steve. He's a real presence inside. Takes up a lot of space.
But you've got to get the ball out of his hands. Bring an extra defender and force somebody else to beat you.
I agree with you. Make him give it up.
Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for New York. Landry Fields comes in for Bill Walker. Good for the 3-point play.
just perfection for them from the foul line in the second half.
Well, they haven't missed, and they look as cool and as comfortable as a baby in a nice bassinet. Every time they step up to the line, it's easy and relaxed.
Here's Stoudemire, and he drops it in from the low post. Stoudemire's got 6 points in the quarter. Here's Bosch. And as we conclude the third quarter, what a game, neither team giving ground.
What a game for LeBron. 19 points, and he's produced 6 points from the free throw line. That's nice work.
Now he's helping their cause, finding some easy points through penetration and attacking the defense.
And we'll see you in just a moment. Now, while we've got a moment, we're going to send it over to Doris Burke for our Spark of the Game, presented by Sprite. Doris?
And Kevin, for that great stretch the Heat put together, they get the Sprite Spark Award. A big offensive outburst in the third period is what has them in the lead right now. There's still a lot of work to be done, and anything can happen.
Thank you, Doris. Everything really clicked for them, Clark, during that run.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, it ignited them offensively.
To the point, Clark, where they were really in complete control at that end of the floor.
Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. Mike Miller is out there with Shane Battier. Then there's Haslam. Then there's Chalmers. And it's Cole in at the 2. And he sails in for the layup. And the Heat lead by 5.
This team just looking to run at every opportunity.
Circles around them is what they're doing. I mean, pushing the tempo and really enjoying an advantage there.
He passes to Walker. A 3 gets it to go.
Boy, they've done a nice job here in the second half, making the defense pay from outside.
Anytime you can shoot the 3 ball the way they are in this half, you are never that far out of a game. You always have life.
And Walker throws it down hard. Replay here. Sprite Slam Cam showing it once more. Guys, we have seen them with a lot of good ball movement.
Well, you like the smooth operating they're showing you here. I mean, things are clicking, and more importantly, it makes them tough to defend.
There's no agenda. The ball's just moving to whoever is open.
My whole goal is opponents to be relaxed in orbit. My slow flow is euphoric. It's like a rap endorphin. The back and forth is my beef. Do you compare before? I'm living my life with an infinite enemy down. My pushing intimidity down. It's in the serenity pounds.
Already signed Mark Stoudemire. It makes a big deal for Anthony. And all of a sudden have one of the great 1-2 combinations in the league.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Hi, guys. I had a chance to find out what Mike D'Antoni was discussing with his players. His message was very simple. Pick up the pace and be extremely aggressive. He said at one point, we need to make things very hard on their ball handlers. Let's see if they can feel the heat, guys.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. And back to Melo and Amari, they just need to build the right supporting cast around those two.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, those are 2 foundational pieces that are all-stars. So plugging in around them will be the next step. They're in the process of doing that, too. I mean, New York definitely reversed their fortunes with the moves they made last season.
A moment for the Gatorade injury report. Now an update on LeBron from Doris Burke. What'd you find out, Doris?
Well, guys, Jay Sable, head athletic trainer for the Heat, let me know the status. He informed me that he separated his shoulder and is really struggling with the pain of the injury. He's not coming back tonight, guys, and it may take quite a bit of additional recovery time. We'll see.
Good stuff, Doris. Thanks, Clark. It's got to be a tough time for him.
Yeah, Kevin, you wish they weren't, but injuries are really a part of the game, and sooner or later, just about everybody has to deal with them in some form or fashion.
Well, hopefully we'll get some good news next time we have an update on it.
Here's Wade. Wade missing again. It's been a little while since they've been in the lead.
And Kevin, that's exactly why this is an important possession for them.
Releases from 15. And it's Wade with the rebound. And here's Miami. And Chalmers kicks to Bosch. Comes up empty down low.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
In the pass to Stoudemire. For Battier. The shot's good from Stoudemire. And the Knicks lead by 2. Timeout called. They're trailing by 2. 1:43 left in the fourth quarter. Different look for Miami. Udonis Haslem is checked in for Battier. And it's James Jones in for Mike Bell. Carmelo Anthony's checked in for New York. 1:43 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Wade. Knicks with the rebound. Chandler's got 4 rebounds in this game. It's Fields on the wing. Defended by Chalmers. Anthony backing him down. 5 to shoot. Ball's not loose. It's stolen by Haslem.
Boy, that's huge. They needed that one.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Nice numbers from D. Wade. 16 points, and his free throw numbers are good. 4 of his points have come from there.
Yeah, that's solid. I mean, getting to the line, getting those easy points, converting when he's there, that's important.
Shane Battier is checked in for Miami. Both free throws good from Wade.
As if there was any question, Ken. He's just not fazed by the pressure. He stays focused and always makes big plays.
Time ball here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. Mike Miller's checked in for Shane Battier. Here is Lynn. Outside Anthony. Stoudemire with a screen on Miller. Fires from the line. Chris Bosh with the rebound.
I think whichever team starts to dominate the glass can really take control of this game.
I won't disagree with you. I mean, it's so tight between these teams right now on the board that you're just waiting to see which team might pull away. Well, it's unfortunate, but he just is not a dependable, consistent finisher, especially if a defense is right there in front of him.
Chris Bosh gets the first. That gives them the lead. The Heat making the switch here. Battier's checked in. Gets them both, and it's a 2-point ball game.
That was a huge trip for them, and he made the most of it. Those could be the points that win them the game.
Battier against Anthony. Here's Stoudemire. He nails it, and we're tied up.
What an offensive force Stoudemire can be.
Right up top, Fields covering. Free throw line jump shot. Yes!
Came through there with a key basket.
Yeah, that was huge. Stepping up when it matters most.
New York calls timeout. They're losing by 2. 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Stoudemire. Goes up. It's blocked. But they retain possession. And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
A good foul. You've got to stop the clock in this situation.
Exactly, Steve. I mean, the clock is their biggest ally right now. They need as much time as they can.
Sinks the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. Perfect from the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
And that'll do it, Kevin. Those last free throws were the icing on the cake.
And so the big win by Miami in a tight game. It was tight, but they managed to come up with the win.
You know, nobody wants to lose a close game, Kevin. It's much better to win those tight ones.
And that'll do it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. And now we present the Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James.